Hey guys, I'm Rick, and that is One Big Pile of Bricks with our amazing guest, Mel Iceberg Bricks from the United States Lego Masters. But it looks like we might end up becoming a regular thing because this is the second time we've had Mel on.
Oh yeah, man. I could be
Because
your second shovel to shovel that pile of bricks for you, friend.
we have some interesting things to talk about, isn't that right, Mel?
Absolutely, absolutely. Always, man. Always.
Always. For those who don't know, obviously Mel was on the best season of Lego Masters in America, USA season one.
That's
And
right.
obviously they breed them differently there because Crystal came over and smashed Australia and took out Lego
Yeah,
Masters.
that's right. That's
Right?
right. A
Yeah.
little pie in your face, friend. A
This come
little
out with a
pie. You know
bang.
what? You know what? I'm a brag because that's what I do, friend. That's what I do. So don't take no offense, but there was always a question which Lego Master show was the best or which ones produced the best builders. And look, I I mean I get it, but y'all set the stage, man, and y'all set the stage, and we came in and took that thing, man. Kudos
I'll
to
tell you
Michelle
something
first.
though. I have a Lego Masters trophy right here, right now. Do you want to see it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see. Let
Yeah.
me see.
Let me grab it.
Let
Let
me
me grab it.
see.
Hang on. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. Hang on.
Me, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. Don't promise something. Oh, he
All right,
got
there
one,
she
son.
goes.
I see you.
Yeah, so
How
that's
can I get one of those?
Lego Masters Brickmas trophy, Sarah's trophy. She gave it to me to borrow for the store, so she's like, just store it there. Look.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it always sits in here.
Oh, Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. Man, I was trying to win our Christmas thing, man, but there's no way I'm beating Boone. There's no way
Well,
I'm beating Boone.
Boone got
You
a
know,
job at Lego,
there's
right?
no
So,
way. Like I choked. So so what's new?
so also for everyone listening and watching at home, if I yawn, I apologize. It is currently uh 11:55 p.m. here in Australia, so it's a big time difference.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
me and Mel
yeah,
have been
yeah,
trying to connect for like 2 weeks, just trying to find the right time.
yeah.
So
Absolutely, absolutely.
in America, so they've just had one of it. I believe I haven't been yet, but America has one of the best Lego shows in the world called Brick World Chicago, and I'm
Mm,
hopefully going to go next year. That's the plan. So we'll see how we go.
okay,
The topic of Lego shows is very funny because everyone thinks they have the best one in the world,
they
and
do.
then you get what I call rogue players popping up here and there, and one of the rogue players is called Brickfest Live. And I had the privilege of going to one before the Lego Masters thing kicked off. So it would have been like maybe 5 years ago. I went to, and it was okay. Like it was just another Lego event. But now,
Hmm.
obviously, it's starting to get a bit of an interesting reputation along the circuit for ripping people off. And Mel's here to fill us in
Hmm.
about everything. And there's a certain Lego Masters contestant Mel was on season one with, who seems to be a spokesperson for this particular company. So, Mel, would you like to take? would
Yeah,
you like to
I'll,
go
I'll
for it,
talk
man?
about it a bit. I'll talk about it. And it's funny because I said after the deal went down, I said, man, I'm not gonna say any of these people's names. I'm not even gonna mention that venue, but apparently, like in the 5 years of U.S. Lego Masters, man, it's been 5 years. Um,
That went
that
quick, man. Like,
this is like I don't know, man. Like how rude can get? Like, this is like a case of the
go for it.
herpes that back, bro. It looks like a case of the herpes. It's like herpes keep coming back. I don't know personally, but I know as an adult with STDs and stuff like that, I do some research and stuff like that, because I'm an adult. But herpes is one of those things, boys and girls. Herpes is one of those things that if you have unprotected sex, that like
I'm so putting a
it's a rash
content
that
warning
just
on
keeps
this.
coming back. Like it's a rash that keep coming. You can't really get rid of it, right?
Oh
It
my
might go away
god.
for a couple years, and then all of a sudden, boom, that's what Brickfest Live is. It's one of those things. And I say that because for whatever reason, it went global. And honestly, I didn't see that coming. And so I'll tell you something about the history of Brickfest Live is that Brickfest Live actually it was Brickfest before it was Brickfest Live. It was Brickfest and it was made by a group of AFOLs that were on the some of them were on the East Coast, some were on the West Coast, and they wanted to do an A fall show. And it was like the best show around for A falls, and it was in its time the Brick World Chicago. at this time, right? But then you get a group of buddies and you get this idea, and of course, like with a group of buddies, the band breaks up, right?
Yeah.
And so forth, the idea of Brickfest, right? So the person that is responsible for it now had nothing to do with that beginning. Nothing at all. He just capitalized on, hey, look, they're no longer doing Brickfest, so I'm gonna do a show and I'm gonna call it Brickfest live. And he rolled with it for a couple years, and it was a good quality show. Like, you had the likes of AC Penn displaying
Yeah.
there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, at that point, like, and he's very predominant without even being like the celebrity. And I hate saying that, I cringe when I say the celebrity of Lego Masters. He is the Lego Master. Like, AC Penn is the Lego Master. Like, he's been to billing. He has art at billing like 5 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 times. Nobody, like, you might get lucky to get your stuff in there once at billing. Five
Yeah.
times. He's Booker T 5 times. So he was there at, like, and I'm talking about 2017, right? That's when I first got on. 2017, that was like one of the first shows I went as a spectator, was Brickfest, Philly Brickfest Live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you got all of everybody that you know on YouTube, all those characters there displaying. They even had awards there, right? Like, so it was a real A fall
Yeah.
event. So fast forward to the era of Lego Masters, Chad decided to change his model, and because it's a get rich quick thing, right? And so after Lego Masters aired, he reached out to me, Corey Sams, Manny and Pops, Manny and Nestor, and even Zach and Wayne. Like, Zach and Wayne, he reached out to Zach and Wayne because now at this time it's Lego Master season 2 is starting to roll
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
because after our Lego Masters one, COVID happened, nobody can go anywhere.
No.
So he pulls us in. We do a couple shows, but we're getting paid like $82 for the weekend, friend. Like, they're covering the cost of the hotel. They're covering the cost of your travel, and honestly, that's the cost of doing business. If I'm bringing talent to my show to make money, and I'm guarantee you, all that was in those walls were the Lego Masters, because he made deals with. He's got a deal. He's got a warehouse, right? Chad has a warehouse,
Yep.
and for whatever reason, whoever owns a Lego theme park house their Lego like displays there at his warehouse. He's got some type of deal there. How do I know? I talked to the dude. The dude said that to me, right? And
That's
so
crazy, right? That
he's able
Legoland.
to use these like these
Oh,
display models, right? The ones that you see at Legoland, at his shows at Brickfest Live. So at this point, you're cutting the competition, or you're cutting the AFOL experience from the show, because now I have Lego models and displays that'll occupy, John Doe and his family that don't know about Lego, right?
yeah.
And so, and at that point, what he did was he also used his networking to actually obtain, like, there was something called Wild Toys or something like that. They had an Amazon, like, not an Amazon, but they had an online store. I think it was called Wildcard Toys. That was it. So he was able to buy Wildcard Toys because Wildcard Toys end up having some IRS issues, right? So they try to call themselves something else, and they end up flatlining and getting out of there. So he bought all of their overhead. So
Yeah.
then he takes that overhead and he brings it into his show. So now he gets rid of the vendors. So now you have no vendors, you have no AFOL experience. It becomes a chain store, right? Basically like a chain store, McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so it doesn't matter. The moment that you step in the door, you're paying Chad and his business, because either you're going to go buy a hot dog, it's going to be to his benefit. If you're going to buy the ticket to get in, that's to his benefit, right? You're going to go buy a balloon. He was selling balloons for $25 and people were buying them. He made $10,000 off of balloons, bro, at a Lego show. At a Lego show. And so he was able to do all those things because people just didn't, like, the families didn't know any better, right? So he makes this deal with like, I guess it was six Lego Masters, maybe seven. It was about 7, maybe, it was 6. It was me, Corey, Zach and Wayne, and Manny and Nestor, right? And so Zach and Wayne, we all got together and was like, yo, look, we need to be getting paid more than $82 a week on these
Well,
trips, man,
if
because
he's bringing
it ain't
in
worth
like,
nothing.
so say an event is bringing in, average event brings in, I don't know, 4,000 people, and I don't know what he's charging. He's making enough money. He should be paying you at least $200 a weekend or something like that to justify you being there.
I'm gonna tell you, the one of the shows that I did do, and I think it was one of the first ones. It was one in Pittsburgh. It wasn't even Philly yet. It's Pittsburgh. 10,000 people at the door. 10,000 on the first day. ten
And he's
thousand
paying
people.
you
Now
$80.
he's charging like he was charging about 55, 60, $60 a person at the door for
Wait, what?
10,000 people. Yeah. 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 So it was well over 10,000 people on a Friday in Pittsburgh, right? And he's charging 55 to $60 a person, right? For the
I
experience,
remember
right?
visiting one in California
And
somewhere.
here's the thing, a t-shirt, he was selling t-shirts. T-shirts were like $30, 40, 30, $40, right? And his t-shirts. And the way he had it set up was that you go through this line to go get a Lego Masters signature, right? But you can't go in that line empty-handed. You got to get something, right? So he was selling t-shirts, so they had to go hit his store first to bring his merchandise down to us so we sign it, right? And so we couldn't sell our merchandise, right? We couldn't He wouldn't let us sell our merchandise. And at one point he took our merchandise and put it with his merchandise, but they were selling his merchandise and while ours stayed on the shelf. And so um if you didn't want to buy a t-shirt, he was selling, I don't know, like one by 6 bricks for, if you want to, for like $5. One by, you get a 1 by 6 brick, and they bring it down. A kid come down there and sign it, bro. Like, it's moments like that that makes me cringe, because now every time you walk in that door to breathe the air, you're paying money. It felt
Yeah.
like a bad episode of Total Recall, bro. Like, it was bad. But I knew Chad before the business model, and I'm thinking like, man, well, let me get this guy a chance. Maybe now he already knew what he was doing, and he was just taking advantage of people goodwill. At that point. And so what happened, and I'm gonna get to Manny. What happened was, what happened was that we do these circular shows. I think we signed for like 3 shows or whatever, and we knocked them all out. By the 4th show, it's in my state where I live, right? And I reach out to Corey, and I'm like, look, man, we need to get paid more than this. We are selling out this place, and $82 ain't it. So he agreed. We all come together, and we try to ban a union, right? And we give a list of demands. I hate to say that, but it's a list of demands. Basically, I think the deal was, hey, look, we need to make like $2,000 a show. Like, each Lego Master need to make $2,000 a show. You got the travel, you got the hotel. That's cost of business. He writes that off because that's cost of business. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You want us there, and that's what it is. And no matter which talent that he picks, the fee is always $2,000 per show.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, look, come to the Maryland show. We'll sit down, we'll talk about it, and we'll go over that. So he's selling this ambassadorship thing, right? Oh yeah, I want you on. Yeah, I'm gonna give you $2,000 show, this and that, blah blah blah. These are the next shows here. Let me know what shows are you available. And he's going into the whole experience, right? So after the talk, after the show, I'm talking to Corey. Corey saying that, same thing that he said me. So we're just trying to go back and confirm, right? I get to Manny. Manny's at work, and because I can hear the clipper blades going, and he's being so sketchy as hell. I wanted to come through the phone on him and choke the hell out of him, right? So when I ask him, I said, "Hey man, how'd the conversation?" "Oh, I think it went well. I think it went well." "Okay, all right. So are we on board here? Are we all going in together here?" "Oh well, I think every Lego master need to do what's best for them." And when Manny said that, I knew that Manny done backdoored us, and he done made his deal. And that was that. And so I went and told Corey. Corey was like, yeah, he apparently he done made a deal. And this was the deal that dumbass Manny made was that he said the deal was that Chad gave him the $2,000, but it wasn't per show. He basically had to do 20 shows for the $2,000. So no matter if it was like at that time, Chad was doing the live experience, right? And so he would put on these brick shows, put on kid cons and comic cons and all this other stuff. So he had a whole bunch of even like he had a Minecraft con too. So he had these other shows that
Yeah.
he was entertaining. So Manny had to go to every last one of these and see like Manny liked to go into different cities and stuff like that, be the rock star, take a flight and and ball out, right? But from he went from $82 a show to $100 a show because he got his $2,000, but he had to knock out 20 shows to get that $2,000. And so he was going based off of, and see, this is how much of a good detective I am, right? So there's vendors that do custom work for a lot of Lego masters, right? So if I want to get a custom figure me, I'm gonna tell you there's probably three top vendors, right? So one of the vendors told me, they like, look, how much are you charging for your sig figs? And I told him, he was like, I don't think Manny charging that much, but for whatever reason, he's buying like 300, many, sig figs. And apparently he's saying he's selling them at the shows. Now that probably could be true, right? That first year of doing Brickfest Live, you could probably sell out all your minifigs and you re-up real fast. That second show, you see sales start to dwindle down because you're hitting the
Yeah.
same exact cities. That third year, yeah, ain't nobody buying that crap because I bought that crap 2 years ago. And the same stuff that you got today, I already bought that 2 years ago. Now you're on fourth. So at this point, I think he's not even in the sig fig selling business at this point. And here's the thing is that if I'm Joe the shit rag man, right, and I bring my family up there and I done seen this bozo 4 years in a row. I seen this bozo and his dad 4 years in a row. And now we're in our fifth season of Lego Masters. Where's the new Lego Masters at? Like, why am I paying $60 to get in this video to see this guy that I didn't see, bro, and he telling me the same exact old story? Like, why? Because people don't know better. And that's it. Like, and here's the thing. Here's the thing, Rick, is that I had my gripes about this show long ago, but I shut up. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna blast anybody. I'm gonna let people find out for themselves, right? and and I didn't say anything, but every time people would patronize that Brickfest Live, then you see them take to the airwaves on social media about their bad experience. But then they go back there again next year and do the same exact show in the same exact city. And they complain about what they said last year, say it again this year. And it's like, well, how many times are you going to keep getting hit over the head? Like, it's like the Nigerian scheme here. Like, I say that, I'm a I'm a crown prince. I got over $100 million in the bank and I can't access it. I'm willing to give you half if you send me $1,000. And I send you that $1,000. And I keep doing it again. You keep sending me that money. You keep sending. It's a Nigerian scheme, folks. This is not a real Lego show. Like, and here's the thing, it's not even just like the average Joe that's doing it, right? It's not even the average Joe. It's lugs, like lugs that you should know better. At lugs are full of AFOLs. AFOLs should know better, right? You should know better. You've been to this show. You see your friends talking about this show, but then all of a sudden you got a lug. Well, this is our lug show. Why, friend? Like, why would a place like that be your lug show? Like, why? There's so many other events.
So, all right. So to touch on this, right? So the thing that makes me laugh is there used to be a company in Australia called Inside the Brick, and they did something very similar, right? They would do, like Australia is the same size as America, but we don't have the population. So he would do all these like middle of nowhere towns, do like 2,000 people, but make all this money, right? So he was smashing them and created a business by doing it and was going hard. And for ages, I knew him for a long time. but his business ended up collapsing because it's unsustainable to hit the same town every year, right? Because after a while, the kids grow up, they see the same thing, people get over it, and this was before Lego Masters, and he was quite large. And there was a rumor he was going to sign on with Brickfest to bring Brickfest to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And and you see it now, dude. Like, it's just it it's so bad. And like, we've been selling Lego a long time. We're going on, next year will be 15 years selling Lego.
Mm-hmm. All right,
And
all
you
right,
see
all
a
right.
lot of these, like, and especially now, like, because Lego is so big, you see a lot of these companies doing what I call bait and switch, where they'll use promo images from other
Mm-hmm.
companies for their brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leopard's known for it. Like, it's just like, it's a big thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's another company overseas that I always get the two confused, called Brick Live. Now, Brick Live is completely different to Brickfest Live. Brick Live
Yeah.
is the company that brought out one of the LCPs in the UK, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't use Lego for their statues. They use, like, other bricks now. So it's
Right.
just like they marketing it as the brick events, like, it's just, I don't understand, man. Like, in I don't I don't agree with charging people the amount that they're charging. Like, if you're gonna,
Yeah.
like, if it's $5 or $10, I get it, but like $50, man, like, that's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and if you
It,
get 1,000 people, that's 50 grand for doing nothing.
yeah. Yeah. It's it I can't even fathom the thought, like, but it's just one of those things where they feel like they're selling an experience. And let me tell you, one of these experience happened to be in an athletic sports complex, which is probably no bigger than a YMCA or like a Boys and Girls Club gym.
Yeah.
And they had one of those things in there. And it's like, okay, you walk in that place 5 minutes, and you done seen everything from wall to wall, and then what do you do next? Nothing. It's like nothing. There's nothing else to do. You know, it's bad. So when I guess when I guess Chad decided to sell off Brickfest Live to whatever company, the name of the company that bought that, and they shipped it overseas. They shipped that show overseas, and now you're seeing like certain cities like Germany. I forget the last place that they posted that it was empty because nobody's going for that over there. Nobody's going for that. Like that reputation precedes you.
Well, and yeah, and I'm looking at their website now, right? Brickfest Live.
Hmm.
There's like, let's tell they're rescheduling a lot of shows now, but when you like, so starting from this weekend that's on now, they got two shows on this weekend, and then they've got another 1, 2, 3, 4,
Hmm.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They got like 30 shows this year, like
Yeah,
to the end of the year.
yeah, yeah. And see,
What
I
I
don't I don't even know I don't even know what the plan is like for the stuff that's overseas, that's outside of the US, cuz I know they ain't bringing no Manny over no outside of the US. They're not doing that. So, I don't even know if they reached out to any maybe local Lego masters to I don't even know. And it doesn't look that way because they're not even selling out or selling tickets. Like one place was just like totally empty.
Well, and this is the thing. So I'm looking at their Facebook page, and they don't update their Facebook page. Last post was March, right?
Mhm.
Now, like, I I don't know Manny. I don't know Manny at all. We've had conversations online, but not like this. Like me and you, we chat. We've never
Right.
chatted, right?
Right.
Like, doesn't he know better? Like, is he just chasing, like, celebrity?
He chases celebrity. Let's get something in the air. Like, I don't drink beers with Manny. Like, only thing I know of Manny is my experience being around him around the show and stuff like that. And so, but my gripe, and I put it out there, my gripe with him is that we all band together as brothers, and you went back behind us to cut your own deal. When you do stuff like that, I just don't have no love for you anymore. And so he did that. And so with him, he loves the idea of being in a different city every week, and like taking flights and just living that celebrityism, and that ain't really got nothing to do with anything, because real celebrities don't do that. But um he loves the idea of being in different cities, and that's why he signed on, because this is his only opportunity, because nobody else is, no other show is going to do that. And here's the thing, like with a real A-fall show like Brick Fair, Virginia, or like Brick World, Chicago, right? Or even like Brick Con. They're not going to entertain the fact that now. Don't get me wrong. They'll invite Lego Masters to come do a panel, but then they're not breaking the bank. They're not paying for your travel, your hotel. They're not paying for you to be up on that panel. If anything, like this year, Brick World Brickworld gets so much support, they don't need the Lego Masters. And that's probably why you've seen a lot less Lego Masters this year versus last year. Um, because they don't need Lego Masters to sell tickets. They don't need that, right? Because they have the true brick show model, whereas they bring the A falls in, and they charge, you charge the displayers or the exhibitors to come in and display their things. In return, you have all a bunch of games throughout this 5-day weekend, and then you got awards throughout this 5-day weekend. So there's so
Yeah.
many and awards, right? And that's the model. That's how you bring the displayers in. And then on top of that is that you have your fan base who love that show, and that's where the real money comes in, is the outside the tickets, right? For the weekend. um, and so they keep that model. So they don't need the Lego Masters, experience to sell tickets. Whereas Brickfest Live, they capitalize off of that, and they reached out to a lot of the Lego Masters. But once the word was out that, all I get paid is $82 for the weekend, what? Like, and it's funny because Jen Smart, who also, I'm gonna tell somebody else's business. Jen Smart, who also cut a deal with, she brokered a deal with Bricks and Minifigs.
Yep.
So if you're opening up a Bricks and Minifigs store, and you want Lego Masters to, to boost your store opening, you can get a Lego Master come to your store opening. But you have to go see, they work the deal through Jen Smart, who's season 2 Lego Masters, right? And so Jen did Brickfest Live one time, and it was a weekend, bro. Let me tell you, it was a weekend in California. And I was thinking about going. I'm like, and I was slated to go, but when I looked at that contract and it said $82 after I just talked to Chad and he told me I was going to be making something else, and I'm looking at that contract, I made him eat that plane ticket. I didn't get on the plane. I didn't go. And I didn't say anything to Jen. I didn't say anything to Moto. I didn't say, the people that went out there. I didn't say anything to them out for themselves, because, man, one time, let me see, one time we were in Philly, and my good friend Fick and Bricks came up to me. He said, "Bro, you've been you've been signing autographs for 4 straight hours. It's 1 o'clock, man. You need something to eat. Like, are they gonna give y'all a break?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't even think they're gonna give us a break, man. Can you get me some some fries and some chicken wings or something? Just get me something. I
Yeah.
just eat, like." And so he brought that food over to me. And look, I'm in there stuffing my mouth, still signing, because they had no plans on giving us a break. They was gonna work us a full 8, bro. They was gonna work us a full 8 without a break. And they continue to do that. Like, so when they went over to California with Jen, she got on the phone with me. She was like, "Yo, they didn't even give us a lunch break." I said, "I believe it." I said, "I believe it." They don't, they'll say there's food coming, and the food never comes, bro. I said that's I said that's enough for me to jump ship. Like, I'm out. Like, um, and here's the thing: it's like, nobody. I'm not trying to capitalize off of this Lego Masters thing. Like, I'm not, like, I don't think that, every my parents, I should be getting paid $2,000. But if you're making well over 60 to 100 grand at the door in tickets, I think I'm entitled to at least $2,000 of that, like, at the least.
Well, this is the thing, right? So when Lego Masters Season 1 here in Australia took off, we were the first ones. We contacted the company that owned the production and we said, hey, we want to do meet and greets. They're like, yeah, go. We don't care. They're not worth any money. And then they saw what we did, right? And then they changed all the contracts because we had the first season one Lego Masters contestants out to the store. We had
Hmm.
2,000 people come to the store. It was insane, Mel. I can't like it was
Yeah.
bonkers, right? And we looked
Hmm.
after them and I paid them what I thought they were worth. Obviously, things change over time. But like
Right.
I set them all down and I said to the whole lot of them, I said, look, make sure you get paid what you're worth. Don't get taken advantage of. Now, over the course of the time, some of them have been taken advantage of because that's what happens. And now in Australia, we're at Lego
Hmm.
Masters Season 6. The fad sort of wears off a little bit, right? Because, season 6 seasons, people start to get like, oh, it's okay. It's not like this big spectacle how it used to be. And a similar thing will
Right.
happen in America, right? Because
Yeah.
after a while, it's the same, same thing.
Yeah. The honeymoon's over. Yeah.
Now, whenever I've done meet and greets at the store, we still do them to this day. Like, we're getting Brickman back out to the store again soon. Like, everyone gets paid. Like, because if I'm making money, everyone makes money. Now, regardless of how much money I make, if it's a small amount or a big amount, everyone gets paid the certain rate, right?
Right.
Now, I don't understand, and like nothing against Manny. I'm sure he's a great guy, but I've always said to everybody that I've dealt with, negotiate together.
Yeah.
You have more power as one than separate.
Yeah.
Because you'll collectively you will all earn more money, with the exception of like obviously Crystal has her own thing going on. So obviously she can
Yep.
deem like ask for more money, right? This is what happens, right? Now she's won like Australia, she can ask what she wants, right? But
Right.
like with the exception, it's just I don't understand that mentality. Considering he's a barber and I don't know how much he charges, I thought he would earn more money cutting hair.
He do. You sound like his father. Cause let me tell you, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like
No, no, go
one
ahead, bro.
time,
Go ahead.
we were in Philly, right? I think it was Philly or it was Pittsburgh, one of the stores, and his father starts asking. I love Manny's father because he's old school, and it's
Yeah.
like if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So he approached Manny. He was like, "Look, Manny, like he was like, how are we going to keep doing these shows on the weekend? You work weekends, your clients on the weekends. That's when you make your money. Like usually, people come in on the weekend to go get their hair cut." He was like, "How He was like, "You make more money at the shop." Like he was like, "We're not making no money here." And I looked at Manny, and he had those blinders on like a racehorse, like he wasn't trying to hear any of that. So this guy was willing to risk his livelihood just to shake somebody's hand and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm a Lego master."
Well, I think too, like, I don't class myself as any sort of Lego expert. Like, I'm just a guy that sells the stuff, right? At the end of the day, I'm just a guy that sells Lego. Now, our social media gets 33 million impressions every month. That doesn't make me famous, but it just makes me laugh that people who chase this imaginary fame thinking it's going to make them happy.
Mhm. Yeah, it's chasing a dream, man. Like I know, Rick, as sad as it is, I know good people today, like that I talk to today on a regular basis every day that are waiting to get on that show. They think getting on that show is gonna change their life. And let me tell you, like, you can ask any Lego master. Other than the exception of the ones that were inspiring to be a Lego designer. Like
Yeah.
on the US side, it would be Boone, it would be
Aaron.
Aaron, and it would be I'm missing one. What's my man's name? He was on the show with his sister. Anyway, and it ended up being like three different people from the US side because they were inspiring to be a Lego designer, that their life changed after or during that show. Everybody else went back to their 9 to 5, what they normally do. And dude, I can walk into a Lego store and not be noticed. I can walk into a mall and not be noticed. Like I can walk into a convention. Like it was great. Like over this past weekend or so at Chicago, it was great to not do any Lego Master panels or any Lego Masters meet and greets. and just be an AFOL and hang out with my friends. I was playing Lego Dungeons and Dragons with my friends for 2 straight days. And so it was great to walk those halls. And yeah, they know who I was. Like the AFOLs know who I am. It doesn't matter to them, nah, because I'm just like them. Like those are the real, Lego masters to me are the people that are displaying there at Brick World Chicago. So to me, it like chasing that celebrity thing. I mean, it's a dream. Like, but you have people out here that feel like their life will be changed by getting on that show.
So I'll tell you a funny story, and I tell this story to a lot of people because I just think it's hilarious. So before Lego Masters, the Lego Land Master model builders were like the guys, right? They were like the guys, girls, whatever. They were the people, right? Now there's a guy called Gary McIntyre, and he was the head master builder at Legoland, California for a long, long time. He was the guy that was on he was on like Mythbusters. You know, remember when they built that big Lego ball? He was on Mythbusters, right? Now, me and him were in line at Disneyland, and I had an American kid come up to me and go, "Are you Rick James from Australia?" Dude, it was like it was the funniest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And he was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. Social media, like, cause you don't know, right? Like, social media, it's massive.
You don't know.
Like, you don't know, right? You get one video goes crazy for no reason, and it's like, and it just makes me laugh, man. People chase this imaginary fame that's not there, and you don't make. You have to be very talented, someone like Crystal, who can make money off social media. You know, like I have a lot of respect for Crystal because it's incredibly hard to make money off social media. It's not easy.
But with,
It's a grind,
but with
bro. It's
Crystal,
not like,
yeah, but with Crystal, she's been doing that way before Lego
oh, dude, she's
Masters.
been
Like
doing it
her
forever.
cosplay, yeah, her cosplay was through the roof. Like her cosplay in Twitch, she's been doing that like way before.
Well,
And
not just
so,
that. You look at
when you,
someone like Amy, man. Amy is an incredibly
yeah,
smart girl, man. She's so smart, dude. Like, I don't think people realize how smart Amy actually is.
yeah, dude, the girl works in cybersecurity, friend. Like she works in cybersecurity. She gets paid to protect people like Microsoft. If
Yeah,
you got one of those mic and you're heading up the cybersecurity division of Microsoft, that speaks volumes, friend. That speaks super volumes. And especially like with them, they have government contracts. And if you're the head of that
yeah.
division, that's big time.
Well, and this is the thing. So it's going to be interesting because I don't know, like, what I'm going to do with Manny because I just feel like that if I get him on, like, I'm going to ask some interesting questions that he might not like. So it's,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, friend, like I could say that, like, do your due diligence. I wouldn't say like, no, don't put that dude on. Put him on. You can see what kind of conversation you're gonna have.
maybe we can put Manny on with you, mate, and see how we go.
Nah, I don't want to talk to the dude. I don't want to talk to the dude. Like, I think between me and him, there's no talking no more. There's no talking.
Well, it's
Even
going to
like
be
with
interesting.
Brick at Brick World Chicago, somebody must have told him, "Hey, dude, like, keep it short with Mel. Don't say nothing to Mel," because he kept his distance from me. Like he kept it way from me because at this point, you know, when Brickfest Live was outed, right? I didn't out Brickfest Live. I didn't. I kept my mouth shut. And with
Yeah,
me, it was like, hey, look, you don't have to take my word for it. Like, like that, LeVar Burton reading Rainbow. You don't have to take my word for it. And so I let people decide for themselves. Apparently, someone got fed up and they put an ad out to don't support Brickfest Live. And this person copied it to that person's page. This person copied it to that person's page. The
social
dialogue was
media, bro.
happening. I saw it. I saw it. So I put it on my page, right? I put it on my page. And then all of a sudden, man, he decided to go in on me because, whatever he had, harped up, or he held back, felt like he can go open and say it. But and I replied. Somebody said like, "You dude, you shouldn't have replied to him." Nah, I replied. I owe you that. Like if you trying to bring a fight to me, it's only right that I give you a fair fight, right? And so I wouldn't have nothing else to say to him. And I think somebody said something to him like, "Hey, look, don't say nothing to Mel. Just stay away from Mel. Like, let's just keep it cordial." Because like at this point, like I don't fake friendships. I don't. Either I'm cool with you or we not cool. And me and Manny, we not cool. We're not cool because you did what you did back then, and honestly, I can't forgive that. Now I'm not gonna kick your back in and just be kicking your back in, but yeah, so
So
good luck on that conversation with him.
I'm having a look on your Facebook, right? Because I couldn't help myself, and I thought I'll have a look, right? So, and it's funny because some of the comments now, before like we wrap this up, because we'll wrap it up shortly, because it is 12:30 in the morning in Australia. The opinions of Mel and I does not reflect the opinions of the Lego group. Right, we're just gonna clear that straight away. So like, we're just gonna clear that out of the way. My opinions don't reflect Lego's opinion, and Brickfest Live, I have the opinions I have are my own, and I haven't been to one, so don't come at me. But yeah, like you look on your post, and there's people sharing the mascot that people are given. Like it's a brick built character that's like not even that great. And like I'm scrolling through because I like to see on all the comments, like, and
Yeah,
like it's spicy, man. And I saw a post not too long ago with Corey, and Manny and Corey were ripping each other apart, man, because Manny was defending them,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
was
man,
like,
man. That's,
and
you
I
would
like
you would
Corey,
think.
man. Like it's just I don't know, dude. Like,
And
but I'll
here's the
tell you
thing,
what,
man. Here's the thing with Corey, and I'll put that in perspective. With Corey, Corey wants everybody to get along, and
yeah,
granted, so Corey's very grounded, and he's a loving guy, right?
he's a good dude.
And he's friends with Manny, he's friends with me, and he keeps coming to me, hey man, we need to put this aside. We need to put this aside. Nah, man, like I'm not the one that's wrong. He is, and
Yeah.
so like I rather I can agree not to say anything but like keep that dude away from me. Like keep him away from me because if he
Well,
did
and
it
it's the
this
thing.
time, he'll do it again.
Well, let's look in the last, like 100 years of human civilization. The one thing that causes anybody grief is money.
Hmm.
Money is the one that causes everybody grief,
Yep.
right? So, like, I don't know, man. I'm disappointed because like I always thought Manny would be one of the boys. Like
Hmm.
look out for each other like a brother.
Yep.
And his old
Yep.
man. This explains why Nesta's not around at events because Nesta's like, why am I doing this if I'm not getting paid? Like,
Right. Yeah.
and
Nestor is a family guy, right? And I even said when Manny decided to go in on my page about that nonsense that had nothing to do with, I even said, I said, look, man, like I feel for your dad because my quarrel's not with him, but it's with you. Nestor is a father that is making sure that his son is happy. Like that
yeah,
was his father son time with Manny, because Nestor's up in age. And so maybe when I was younger, or maybe when like my son was younger or something like that, I didn't get to spend that father son time because I was too busy working and trying to have a living, right? So I'm making up for those times, right? And so Nestor is a father that is supporting his son. Nestor ain't trying to go out on the road and be no celebrity. Nestor got a family at home. Nestor's wife is at home. And so every time that Nestor is out on the weekend, he not home with his wife. And he
yeah.
doesn't like that. Even during the show, he wanted to be back home, but he was fulfilling his son's dream. And so, but one of the contracts is that like for Brickfest Live is that them two could not be seen together at any other show. So or that voids that contract and they owe Brickfest Live money. So that means that Manny can go to Brick World Chicago alone, but if Nestor and him go, then they're in violation of that contract. So
Dude, that's such a bad deal. Well, on that note, because it's getting late here and I need to be in bed soon so I can take off and go home so we're ready for work tomorrow. Thanks for the chat, Mel. I think we should make this a permanent thing, man. Like, I think we should just gossip about the Lego community all the time, man. Like, it's been a
yeah,
fun
man, I'm
ride.
down, man. Yeah,
All
man,
right.
I'm down. I'm
Well,
down. I'm sure we always got some topics to talk about.
oh, dude, there's always something. Well, you have a good rest of your evening, man, or what day? It's morning there, so you have a good rest of your day, man. And we will chat soon. Yeah. Thanks again, Mel.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
Thanks, dude.